to show you how they look so you have an idea how these muffins look when they swell up before you cook them. And we're only going to be cooking them. Oh yeah, that's right. Now when I showed you them, you could see where I had cut them. You see how they've puffed up and you don't see it anymore? That's because it's already swollen and ready to be baked. So that's what we're going to be doing. So get your oven to 450. These will even show you. You see, you don't see the rim of where I cut it anymore. You see how they puffed up? That's how you can tell. Okay, let's see. I got 2, 4, 6, 9, 10, 13 of these. I'll need the bigger grill. So you're going to need a rack because we're going to have to get them off of these baking sheets when they're done right away so they can air all the way around, or they might turn back to dough and you don't want that. So make sure you have a rack that you can put them on. We just have to wait for the oven to get to 450. And what we're going to do is we're going to cook them on 7 minutes, and this time I'm going to remember to turn them. And then we're going to turn them and cook them another, no, it's 8 minutes. 8 minutes on one side, then we're going to flip them over and then bake them another 8 minutes, and they cook very fast. So these are baked. You don't have to worry about a grill and putting them on and burning them. So this is the nice part that I like about this. So that's where we're at, and we'll see how these come out. They're going to be large, by the way, because most of the English muffins you get are about this size, but they're only about this thick. And when you cut them open, there's nothing but air. I don't know if they sit there and put baking soda. Baking soda you would taste, so they might have to use baking powder with yeast to get that lift. But when you have that many air pockets, you get very little dough, but you get that. Mine will have some, but mine are going to be bigger and heavier. Alexa, hi, and good morning. But anyway, that's what people think about. Alexa, we're at the end of just baking rye sourdough English muffins. So that's what we're having today. There's a part 1 and a part 2. This is part 3 that we're on actually now at this point to get these things cooked. And that's what we're doing. So we just have to wait at this point. Nothing more we can do. Oh. I don't know about you, but this weather has my hair looks like a porcupine. It sticks out everywhere, and I've got a nose running. No, that's a red one. A very, very red one. I just happen to like the color. You know, off at a distance, I guess it does look pink, but it's a red one. No, Alexa, no, I don't. I have to fall asleep with whatever I'm doing, because if I have time in the afternoon after cooking and cleaning and doing everything, I am making things, I'm creating things. But I do go to bed early because I am older. Yeah, I go to bed early. Good morning, Jen. Yeah, I go to bed anywhere around 4 to 6. In winter, I go to bed at 4, but in the summer, I might stay up till 7 or so. Fox, you too? Okay, yeah. A lot of people, but remember, I also grew up, my father was up at 4 and he wanted us up by 6, and we were small children, and we were in bed by 8. Hi, Southern Heat. I like your name, Southern Heat. Good morning from Indiana. So we're just waiting for this now. You go to work, you have the day shift, and it takes a while for you to get there, Fox? No, my father was 4. He wanted the first hour for him to shave and make the coffee, sit down and read the paper, because the paper would come and be on the porch. Oh, briskets are good. Today, later today, for dinner, we're making a chicken casserole. Hi, and hello to Oregon. T Diz. Oh, I love the names you guys come up with. Mine is so simple. I feel like mine is like blase. So you guys must have been working on all of these names. All right, we're at 245. We only have like 205 more degrees to go, and then we'll be ready to throw them into the oven. So, thank you, Jen. Jen, I'm just using the first part. T-Dizzle. T-Dizzle, okay. I love these names, the way they come up. You know, you say I'm sweet, but boy, you ought to see me when I'm mad. I'm like a fireball. I try not to get angry, though. I find the older I get, I just sit there and say, oh, what the heck? It doesn't matter. You know? Okay. This is a hurry up and wait. JH, you're probably thinking you're cute, but that's all right. Rolling. Good morning to everybody. I had some, I ate the last muffin of the Christmas muffins, and I had yogurt with the apricot butter. Had some more of that, and I'm going to be having coffee once I put these in the oven. Yeah, I would believe that in our You think those are dentures? But you figure my mouth, I'll bite it off, and you won't be able to get it back. I don't have cavities. These are my real teeth. I don't have arthritis. I'm not on medication. Okay? And I still get up and do work. Clint, I always have to get up high rolling. Yeah, I want to get it going. We're almost up there to put these things in. Now remember, I take chicory root. I do not use coffee beans. Rolling, if you have arthritis, I could help you take something that would make it feel a lot better, but you'd have to learn to cook with it. Everything that, if you've been watching my videos, I show you, I make a lot of things from scratch. I sit there and I spend a lot of time getting away from anything preserved or in the store unless it's fresh fruits and vegetables and meat. Thank you. It's something I've worked my whole life on to be healthy. I do know one thing, and I learned this from my husband. I don't care if there's nurses on my thing or doctors. I'm going to say it anyway. Long-term medication is going to kill you. Because all it does is cover up the problem. It does not cure the problem. America. I'm also going to be, in about 4 or 5 weeks, I'm going to be 73. All right, if you have arthritis, what it is you have lost minerals is what you've got. Minerals are in your bones and stuff. So if you've got arthritis and in the joints and stuff, this is what's happened. You've been either drinking, taking drugs, or not eating well, or you've been eating pre-made food or eating out a lot. And the restaurants use a lot of canned goods and stuff. They cover up the flavors of the stuff, so you think you're getting better. All right, go to a butcher. You're going to have to go to a butcher. I'm sorry, there's no way you can do it. I'll tell you some things. If you cook chicken, I want you to eat the end gristle parts, on the bones and in the breastplate. That's a ton of minerals that your body needs. Collect bones, all kinds of bones, except for fish bones. Don't do fish bones. All right, you can sit there and collect beef, lamb, veal, pork, chicken bones. Put them in a bag. So if you have steak and you have bones, throw the bones in the bag, throw them in the freezer, make a bag of bones. And then what you're going to do is when you get a bag of bones, you're going to need a pressure cooker for this one. So according to your income, adjust it accordingly. You're going to throw those bones into the pot, and you're going to fill the pot as high as you can with water. It has a mark to let you know. And you're going to pressure cook those for about 2 hours. Then you're going to turn the heat off or move it off the burner. Let the pressure come off. You're going to open it, and you're going to add more water right up to as high as you can go. There's a line. And you're going to pressure cook them again. And you're going to continue doing this until you can take a knife and you have the big joint of a cow, and you can take a knife and stab it all the way in it. If you have a leg of lamb, you continue doing that until you can break it with your bare hands. Then you've cooked all the minerals out. Strain that. You might have to use a towel to make sure you get all the fine particles off. You strain that and you put it in the refrigerator. You cook with that. If you're cooking rice, use it. If you're making gravy, use it. Using soup, wherever you need liquid, you add it into your pot. And what you do is, if you're not using the liquid, have a glass of it. You can add some salt and pepper or seasoning, heat it up, and drink it. It's going to make you very relaxed. You'll probably start sleeping better, and you will sit there and get those minerals back into your body. It's going to take a while. Be patient, because I know one man who has it so bad. His wife was talking. She said he can't even get out of the chair. He hurts so bad. So I told her to do this, and she's been doing it for 2 or 3 months, and she says he's getting up and around. He's starting to feel better. He still aches a little, but not to the point that he was, and he was noticing he was getting better. And you're going to have to probably do this for the rest of your life, but that's how you get rid of arthritis. All right? That's why I cooked with it when my sons were young. I cook with it. And if you want to know how bad your bones are, look at your teeth, because your teeth are bones. If you have cavities and fillings and weak enamel, it's time to put them in. We're going to put them in for 8 minutes. That'll be 42. All right, so that's how you do it. So if you have chicken, make sure that you chew those gristles as hard as it is. Now, if you want the folic acid, you'll have to make sure your chicken is cooked all the way, and you crack those bones and suck the bone marrow out. That's your folic acid that keeps you warm and gives you a high blood count. If you buy the large bones, in the store, the ones that have the bone marrow in the middle, you notice how they cost more. If you're going to use those bones, you scrape out that bone marrow, put it in your gravies, your soups, or whatever you want, or stews. Use it, because that's where your folic acid is. Folic acid is a natural antibiotic that the government has taken out of a lot of our foods because they didn't think it was important. But yet, that's why people get anemic. There are 5 anemics. You have the protein, you have the iron, you have B6, pantothenic acid, and folic acid. Which anemic are you? Everybody says iron, but there's 5 of them there. If you don't get enough protein, that also causes anemia. No, I don't, because they told me I have to get somebody that I know. Teresa, but I can't find her on YouTube. I used her address and it's not coming up at all. I can't find it. I hope she comes back up and she can give me her, or either get in touch with me on my Facebook page, which would be easier, and we could talk about it, because she was going to do it for me. But Buckle Up is being stupid right now. And I can delete them, but I have to delete one at a time. But if you guys would do it for me, I'd be really appreciative. All right. The truth, go ahead and just knock them off. Ban equals win. You code the app to auto. You click on the person's name in chat and delete. I don't have a block. It just says erase. That's it. That means I have to do every one of them individually. Now I'm using a dandelion dark roast. It's organic from Ticino, Teeccino, and it's coffee-free, acid-free, caffeine-free. Yay, that's one I can use, and prebiotic, gluten-free. So you have those problems, you can. Yeah, you see how they come through? They even gave me a little measurer. I like it. Okay. Oh, no, I don't put cream in my coffee. All right, let's see. The truth in the shadows. I got to see how to make. You just keep coming, and I'll try next time. Generally, please just be nice. The truth in the shadows. I'm going to have to write that out and see if I can get it to come up, because Teresa didn't come up. Let's see. I'm going to hit you, Truth, and see if it comes up moderator. So hold on. Okay. Oh. Which one would I use? Can review and remove chat messages and hide or put users in timeout. Okay. Truth in the shadows. Let me see. See if it comes up on your end. Hi, Iowa Baron. All right, Truth of the Shadow. I did it. Yes, ma'am. I made you a moderator. It says that you're allowed to delete words and stuff. Cincinnati, hi. Montana, we're getting out into the Midwest. You guys are waking up now. Because I have nothing better to do, Jose. All right, so I have a moderator. He knows what he has to do, he says, because he wants to get rid of them. Don't ask for money because I'm broke. Massachusetts, hi, you're right above me. Arizona, you were, let's see, I was in Texas, so you were that away. We're actually making rye sourdough English muffins. Later on today, I am making a chicken casserole. Oh, I'm going to put this here. We've got 2 minutes. We're going to have to flip those things. I have to learn to do this stuff. New York. I'm in New York State. See, at the hunting camp, my mother couldn't waste matches because she would have to drive into town because it was a hunting camp. We had no running water, no electricity or things. So she had to teach me how to light matches because I used to go like this and strike them constantly like this. She said, no, if you want to strike on a match, most people don't think about this. You put your finger here and you run it, and as fast as it catches, you let your finger off. You'll not waste one match unless the match breaks. Yeah, except these are rye. Rocky Mountains, Nemes. I hope so. Do you want to be a moderator, Nikki? Pennsylvania. Okay. Good morning, everyone. We're getting everybody. All right, it's time to take them out. Hold on. I need to get a map. Okay, they're only half cooked. We're going to flip these. So I'll turn you down so you can see. Okay. So we're going to turn them over because they're only half cooked. Be careful. You can squash them because there's still dough in the inside, so flip them very easily. I can feel how light they are. They really are. Okay, we're going to cook these for another 8 minutes. And they should be done. Okay, 51. 51. Hi, and good morning, Belinda from California. Yeah, they're only half cooked. These are sourdough. They take 2 days to make. Are you making regular ones? Rubbing high. This is because I'm baking them. You have to cook both sides. I am. Good morning, Arkansas. Comfort. Okay. Yeah, they are. When you make homemade English muffins, especially sourdough, they're like this big. They're really, really good. So I decided I wanted to make sourdough rye. And I'll probably try something else. Knowing me, I'll get into it and try something else. My sons said it would look like chickens. And I said, I like the yellow. He said, but it's too bright. I said, it's the kitchen. I like the yellow. Hi, E.T., Belinda, and Han. Good. Good to see you back. The reason I didn't see the moderators because when it came up, when I pressed it, just said remove this and this. And he says it's moderators here. So I just decided, let me just see and flip up, and then I saw. I have made my own butter. Billy, good morning. Jen, I know how to make my own butter. It's a bit of work, but I can do it. I'm getting tired of the butter splattering because that's water in it, so they're not doing it right. I might have to go back to make it. Can I be a moderator? Thank you. I'm on early in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon if I'm doing something. 6:45. No, it's a good time. Yes. We're making rye sourdough English muffins. Atlantis is in the Atlantic Ocean. Atlantis did exist. There were giants there. This information comes from the ARE. And they did, and Actually, what they did was they wanted to get rid of the animals of the time, what we call the great dinosaurs. And they created, Rex used to be a small little dinosaur. And scientists have now found it small, fully grown. From the bones they can tell, but they sat there and said, how could it go from that and then be giant the way it was? It was because they had done gene altering to make Rex tall to get rid of the big dinosaurs. And this, I think, goes back to a simple story in the Bible of Cain and Abel. One, they both offered to God, and one was accepted and one was not. And because he was angry that his brothers was accepted, what I think this is just a personal opinion, me putting it together the way I see it, is that we are allowed to work with the fruits and vegetables, that we're to be plenty for everybody to eat and the animals to eat. But when you started cross gene splicing and stuff and creating half human, half animals, and altering the animals the way they were created, this is in my book, God did not accept it. And the sin was so great. And this is why Christ says, do not harm the children. In other words, you don't cross the line with the children and stuff. I think Atlantis went much further than that, and messing up with the animals as well, causing imbalance and stuff, caused the destruction of Atlantis to fall into the Atlantic Ocean in 3 parts. It broke up into 3 parts. Now, the thing that got me is that we caught this like 4 o'clock in the morning, my husband and I. They found this diver went down and he saw prayer hands like this and he had swum into a cave, and he came up into an air bubble and he saw these beautiful hands like this on a gold stand or something, I don't know, and came out because he felt the earth shake, so he knew there was going to be another earthquake. But he got out of there, but he got pictures of it, so we couldn't deny the pictures of it. And he said they also have found roads down there that lead straight down. Now, from what the ARE has stated in their readings, and you have to become a member to get a hold of these readings, they said Barbados is the highest mountain of Atlantis. That's the only peak there. Now, what's funny is Barbados is down here and the water is up here, but yet the water doesn't flood Barbados. Think about that. Well, I read, Billy, and thank you, buddy. I have to go get my cup and saucer. Okay, I got my cup and saucer, but we're going to have to take these out in a few seconds. So the ARE also gave reading that Wall Street was going to leave New York City. They're now looking to move. Yes, I do, Belinda. No, I have never, Chris, followed Amish farmers. Okay, well, you guys are talking to each other right now. And here they are. Like I told you, they are huge. They're very, very hot. Now, you cannot try these while they're hot because they'll go back to the dough state, and that's not what you want. So you have to let these cool completely Marijuana is a medication. The Indians used it for medication and for spiritualness. But I know marijuana opens what we call the Pandora box. And you have to be careful. As you can see, these things are huge. I'm not kidding. And I smoked marijuana, so I know what I'm talking about. The truth. Yes, later, but they have to cool completely. If you try to eat them or tear them open, they're actually going to go back to dough. They have to thoroughly cool. As you can see, they're very nice. Oh, 52. 52 is 8. You want after the hour. Okay. I even have moderators on America's Home Cooking and Facebook because we were having so many problems with them as well. Yes, I did. I did try it. And I got the shit scared out of me, and I've never touched it since. Because I was angry. My parents had gotten a divorce. My father was blaming me for his marriage. He said if I wasn't born, he would have had the life that he wanted. And he reminded me constantly of it. He also said, I will not love you till you're an adult. And by then, after all of that said to me, I didn't care if he loved me or not as an adult. He tried to say, I love you. I said, after what you said, then he blamed my mother. You would have to go to the American Indians. They really know how to use it with medicine to help. Well, parents, see, this is where I believe in karma. I must have said something in one life that hurt his feelings. But my father loves money more than family. When they're all grown and everything, he doesn't mind then. And I loved my father. I used to tell him how much I loved him because he was my daddy. But it didn't matter. I was a little girl when he said it. So I knew that they didn't really want me. So I lived with it. And when I got old enough, I left, both my parents. What my mother did to me, no mother should do, and she did it, and I left. Okay, where did I put my coffee? Now you talk about what my mother did. But I don't hate him. I just said I don't want the hurt anymore, so I don't want to see him anymore. I don't want the hurt. I shouldn't have to live that hurt and looking at them and know exactly how they feel. So, goodbye. Before I left my mother, she stuck her finger in my face and I bit it, almost bit it off. I was so mad with her by then. Some parents don't know how to let go and you have to take them to court. I don't want to talk about it, Belinda, but it's something no mother should do to a daughter. Okay? For all of you coffee people who love coffee, remember when you add milk to it, it becomes like a poison to your stomach. That's why you blow up after you have it. No, my parents are dead, thank God. And I wish them the very best. I hope they've learned their karma in this life. And I hope they move forward to be better people. Hi, Paul, and good morning. Milk in coffee or tea actually causes a chemical reaction, though it's not major. It does cause poison because it disrupts the digestive system. Okay? Most people who have coffee, if you get away from coffee long enough and just have it black or just with sugar, and then wait about 2 or 3 weeks and then have it with milk, you'll notice you have a slight acid in the back of your throat and you feel a bloatedness down here. This is because it's acting up. It doesn't mix well. Oh, I made grilled ham and cheese and we had tomato soup, which was delicious. Pancakes? Yeah, I haven't made pancakes in a while. I might get back into that again. There's so many things to make that you can't get them all done. I try, but it doesn't work. So, Paul, I agree with you. Pancakes are delicious, but I'm getting English muffins done today. Well, I garden, but the only thing the raccoons and the squirrels and the animals leave me are blueberries and raspberries and the high blackberries, and that's it. Yeah, I grow a garden, but they eat everything. They don't leave me much. They don't like asparagus. Yeah, one likes asparagus. I noticed my asparagus were only this big and the top was all missing. Okay, Paul, but you can see on the weekend, and you can always see them later. Well, I try rolling. Hannah, cooked? Oh, God. My all time favorite, I'll say my favorite meal, believe it or not. And you're going to laugh, but I love chipped beef over biscuits. I mean, if I could get chipped beef more, I would sit there. They're trying to get it into the store so I can buy it. Bolognese? That's all right. I don't care, Buffalo. I told you, languages are not mine. I'll show you the bigger one, but it works the same as the little one. All right, it comes in 4 parts. Okay, here's the bottom. And you put this in. Put this in. After you put the water in, you put the water in. You put this in. You put this in. Put your coffee in. They say this makes 4 espressos. We're just using it for regular coffee. And then you see the front here. Take the top and the hole there. Lock the hole in there like this. And lock it in just like that. And that's it. And it makes coffee. It comes from Italy. And that I am doing very well. AV, TD, it's percolator. I use heaping. Those 2 pots that you see are espresso, okay? So for the little one that you saw me make, you're supposed to put 2 level tablespoons and it makes an espresso cup. But I don't have espresso, so I only put 1 in and I make 1 small cup here. The big one, they'll put a heaping 1 or 2, but those are espresso pots, but we convert them to regular coffee. Yes, I have 2 cats right now. Thank you. All right. Hi, Gina. Okay. Okay, we got to take these out and flip them. Always close the oven door to keep the heat high when you're doing this until you're done. Some people leave the door open and then they find my bread's not working, my English muffins or something. No, you close the door back so the heat doesn't escape any more than it has to. All right, 8 of the 11 after the hour, and then we'll be done, and that's it. Get my coffee back, please. Okay. I made, I think, 13 or 15 of them. Listen, thank you for the thought, Paul. Hi, Joyful. And good morning to everyone. Hi, Nick. Liz, oh, that's cute. I love these things that you send. Liz, that was funny. Nick, thank you very much. Thank you again. What is this? Let me see what I'm going to press something. I don't know. Good morning. Those are cute. They really are. Gigi, okay. And Nick, thank you. All of you, thank you, because you are supporting me, and I thank you very much on that. Yeah, he must be, because... Okay, Mega. Bonjour. No, we thought we were going to get snow, but it hasn't. But we've got the wind. I don't know if that's before the snow or not. Right now it's saying no snow until Friday, all day Friday. I have to go shopping Friday. I won't be able to go. Mega, hi. All right, we're just waiting for these to finish up and we'll be done. No, I have no grandchildren. I have one son who is gay and one who is heterosexual. They were alley cats. They recommend the ratio for 1 cup of water, it's 1 tablespoon of coffee. If you make tea, it's 1 cup of water and 1 tablespoon of tea leaves. This is the ratio for both of those. I am doing very well, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, yeah, Emmanuel. What? I don't know what graphic designers are. I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. I didn't say that. I said we're going to start with biscuits. We'll be doing pancakes, and those will be teaching videos. What's my favorite thing in the world? I can't answer that. I would go more spiritual than I would physically. Hannah, my most favorite thing in the world. You're saying a thing. You're not saying a person. Well, if it's going to be a thing, I'd say is the breath of life, to think that life was given to me, that God thought enough to give me life. Websites and catalogs and stuff like that. They design what it looks like, kind of like a digital. CJ, good morning. Can help in editing your picture and also put 2 or more videos together and help you attach to be one, and could also edit YouTube posts than I do the YouTube. Well, you know a heck of a lot more, Emmanuel, than I do. Oh, so cool. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm learning that. No, I have an older brother and I have a younger brother. I'm the girl in the middle. I'm in New York State. And yeah, you think about it. All right, 2 minutes and those will be done. Now, once they cool, they're going to be this size, okay? So we're talking about almost 1.5 inches. That's how big these things are. Yes, I do. If you look at 2,900 recipes, you'll see a whole lot of things that I do. So what do you think about? Oh yeah, you're far away from me, Paul. I have to talk to my sons about all this editing and graphic stuff. You won't have my number. You'd only have my phone number is private. Okay, Paul. But good morning, good afternoon. I know you guys are in a different time zone, but mine's good morning. Okay, we got 1 minute and we'll be ending soon. Okay. Well, a lot of personal information I don't give out, but I give some. Paul, I'm going to have to. I can't stand and talk forever because I've got to take care of the laundry. I didn't finish it yesterday. Arizona. Okay. Okay. Yes, it is. It is 7:12 here. Rolling. Okay, Paul. You're very welcome. The truth, the, I tell you, things move too fast here. Okay. And, that's a stupid question. You people have to be careful on the internet. There's a lot of stuff that's not real. You really have to be careful. I was shocked by some of the garbage. You really have to think about what you're seeing and what they're saying. I'll tell anybody, look it up, you know? I'm not going to say something. If I read it somewhere, I'll tell you where I got it, you know? Like I say, manufacturers would not want me to promote something. I'd be the worst thing. Oh, John, you're in my old state. Good morning. We just finished making sourdough rye English muffins. Yeah, I've seen them. They're funny, and I can laugh at them, but I know they're not real. But I've listened to some things like somebody was saying, and I said that is a pig's foot. That's not this and not that. But there's so many people that are playing around and making things like they're real or something. Thank you, just. Yeah, it is scary. It's very hard. It's very bad. I mean, it's a simple thing like this young girl comes on, and I know she's selling products to make money. All right, I understand that. And she's talking about lipstick. You put this lipstick on and you do this and it doesn't come off and it stays, right? But we had to learn how to put lipstick on and drink and not leave lipstick on the glasses. Okay. My cats are asleep upstairs right now. Kara, thank you. That's very nice of you. Wait. Breads is my specialty, okay? The natural yeast, it would be known as a sourdough culture. If you need me to do another one, you wait till the spring and I'll show you how to do it. The natural yeast that I'm trying to make. I tried using raisins and it didn't work. So now I'm trying apples. Yeah, if they're down here, I'll pick them up so you can see them. So I'm trying now with this. They say, so it should start smelling like wine in about a week. Right now it smells like apples, so I don't know. If this doesn't work, I'm going to grapes next. So that's what I'm trying to do. And as we move further in, I'm going to show you how to make different kinds of breads that you would get from Europe, where you have the big air pockets and stuff, and I'll show you how they make their bread, and we'll learn how to work with the natural wheat of yesteryear and not today. Well, I'm working on it. They said it's going to take, not yet. I'm working on it. Because the raisins, they said put it in a dark spot and leave it for 7 days, and you should have the smell of yeast. I said, well, after 7 days in the dark, it didn't work. So I was talking to her, my girlfriend said, Sandy, have you ever, I said, yeah, I'm trying to do it right now. And I said, well, I'm going to try with apples. If it doesn't work with apples, I'm going to get grapes next. Okay. So that's what I'm working. They say the sugar in the fruit, it's like liquor. Let's talk. All right, you have to put potatoes and some stuff. You ferment them and you make liquor. Beer is made with a yeast and stuff, a plant. And I'm sitting there saying, well, I know how to make sourdough culture. I know how to work with the old grains. I said, but how can I make yeast like the yeast we have today, but so I don't have to buy yeast in the store because that's $6, and I do bake a lot and I use a lot of these things. So I sat there and said, so I'm going to try. So one of my cookbooks read that, you can use any kind of dry fruit, just don't use pineapple acids or like oranges and lemons and stuff. It doesn't work. Any other one would work. You add a teaspoon of sugar. I boiled the water because the tap water, they put chlorophyll in. Ugh. And so I boiled the water to get rid of the chemicals. I let it cool, and they said, put so much in. I put so much in. I put the sugar and I shook it up. It didn't work. So I said, all right, she said I could do this. Okay, but this guy in this other book says I can sit there and use fresh instead of. And this is what I'm going through. No, I've never done that. Liquor. Hey, I got a book on liquor, so heaven knows I might get into it in time. So this cookbook says you can use fresh fruit. So I said, all right, they're spraying our fruit. So I got my scrub brush. So I scrubbed my apple. I said, do I have to take the seeds or anything out? No, just take the stem off. Okay, so I took the stem off. I quartered it, and that was 3 days ago. So they say I have to shake it twice a day. Keep it in the refrigerator, or the refrigerator's dark, so I could see that'd be in a dark, cool spot. The temperature would be controlled, but I'll put it in the door to keep it from going in the back because it'll freeze. So we'll know in about a week. This is what I'm going through. I have a Costco card that is hooked up to my checking account. Thank you, Joyful. I have never made liquor. Starts her. So that's what's been going on with my yeast. If it works, I'll definitely show you how it works. If it doesn't work, I'm going to go to the grapes and we're going to see if the grapes work. If it doesn't work, I'm going to call my girlfriend and say, where'd you get this idea with grapes? So that's what I'm going through right now. So anyway, that's what I'm going through. Sometimes you don't see the things that I'm going through. Like when I made the sourdough culture the first time, man, I was throwing it out and I said, what am I doing wrong? It's just I had to hit the right day, and I finally caught those little suckers. Yeah, Mario, that's good. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on, and I'm hoping I'll get yeast from this. But if it doesn't work, I'm going to be back at the drawing board. Don't think that we just sit there and things come out. When you start in the kitchen, when you first start out, like my mother taught me, follow the recipes exactly till I got accustomed to them. And then I got creative. I went, bing, what about this? Bing, what about, the next thing I knew is it just grew into this, okay? So listen, I'm going to let all of you go now because I've got to change linens. I got to finish that wash I didn't do yesterday. So I want all of you to take care. Have a great day. Stay warm. We're having a heat spell Monday. We're going to be in the low 30s. Oh my God. My friends were saying we should go to the beach in our bikinis. That's a hot spell after what we've been through. So listen, take care. Imagine banana bread vodka. Yeah, I would go there. Yeah, it's expensive, Joyful. So listen, take care, all of you, and I wish you the very best. And I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. Anyway, we'll find out, but we know what we're doing next Sunday. Not this, but next Sunday. So take care. Wait a minute, are we in February? Oh, yes, we are. Take care. Bye bye.